How racist this new administration truly is. This is some of the most racist shit I've ever heard of. In 1913, South Africa had white supremacists running the country, and they created apartheid, which created segregation and discrimination laws against black South Africans. It was whites only South African businesses, whites only South African movie theaters, whites only South African swimming pools. South Africa was on that racist shit just like America treated black folks. So in 1913, white South Africans took over South Africa with force. White South Africans stole land owned by black South Africans. Fast forward to 2025. Three of Trump's biggest supporters are three of the most richest men on the planet. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and David Sachs are three billionaires that fully support Trump. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and David Sachs are all white South Africans who were born in South Africa, white supremacy, and apartheid. Elon Musk is a white South African white supremacist. South Africa now has a black president. This South African president wants equality in South Africa. He wants the racism to stop, and he wants everyone to be treated equally. Trump and Elon Musk heard about this black South African president wanting equality. Trump immediately stopped all funding to South Africa. There are only 7% of white people in South Africa, but those white people own 70% of the land in South Africa because they stole most of that land from black South Africans. The new black South African president put a new law in place to right the wrongs that were done to black South Africans that had land stolen from them. Just like when European settlers stole America from the natives. Because the South African president wants to give back land that white South Africans stole from black South Africans, that's why Trump and his administration are saying white South Africans are being persecuted and done wrong. But white South Africans are not under persecution.
I mean, the facts are there is no systematic prosecution of white Afrikaner farmers. For the Trump administration to take the view that there's somehow systematic persecution, it's actually problematic and troublesome and damning on the way the Trump administration is receiving its information.
How are they being prosecuted when they the ones who stole the land from black South Africans? Black South Africans are the ones who originally owned that land. What's so wrong with doing right and giving black South Africans their land back? But see, this is the thing. South Africa is not even seizing land like Donald Trump is saying they are. It's a lawful process that's handled in the courts of South Africa. If someone stole land from you and your family, wouldn't you want it back? I did my research and I found out how
the population in South Africa is 90% black, but black people in South Africa only own 4% of privately owned land in the entire country. But somehow Trump is convinced that these 59 white South African refugees deserve to be housed and fed on the taxpayer dollar in the United States because they were being discriminated against in their home country. It makes me so fucking sick to see that in the same week that a 16-year-old girl had her face slammed into the concrete by ICE because she was brought here as a minor into the United States by her parents, that our taxpayer dollars are simultaneously being spent on an expedited refugee process for white people in South Africa, where they only make up 10% of the population, but they own 96% of the fucking land. Are you kidding me? And their justification is that they believe that white people are being genocided in South Africa. So all of a sudden they have a problem with genocide. Meanwhile, the United States is literally funding a genocide in the West Bank. And for the record, that's not even happening in South Africa. It's been disproven and debunked multiple times. And it's just Elon Musk spreading right-wing bullshit, white supremacist bullshit, as usual. That's all this is. It's just white supremacist bullshit all over again. I'm so tired.
My president is a gangster. Oh my God, Trump bought receipts, bro. Did y'all see that press conference today with South African President Ramaphosa? Bro, the Trump doctrine. Hell, we not gonna talk nice. We gonna bring receipts and we gonna keep it real. When they questioned the president, was there any genocide going on in South Africa? He said, you know what? I'm gonna let the South African president answer that question. And after the South African president said all that bullshit, Trump said, check this out. I got some receipts. Yo, dim the lights. Turn off the lights and play the video. Boy, they sat there for about 3.5 minutes watching hateful videos about killing white South Africa. And the South African president had to sit there and listen to it. Boy, that's what I'm talking about. Forget all this rhetoric. If y'all ain't learned about Trump and the new doctrine, it's not about being nice. It's about keeping it real. And baby, he brought some receipts. Them videos talking about unaliving white people. Pew pew to unalive white folk. Man, that'd look too good. And it looks so uncomfortable. And after he made him watch that video, He said, okay, now explain. And boy, did he look, oh my God, he couldn't say nothing. Again, I made a video about the things that's been happening in South Africa. And the thing that keeps killing me is every other sentence the president of South Africa talked about Nelson Mandela. Trump knew Nelson Mandela. And President Ramaphosa, you are not Nelson Mandela. Matter of fact, it was Trump who booked the first plane after Nelson Mandela was taken out of prison to the United States when everybody else didn't want to touch him. See, there's levels to this shit. Trump loves South Africa. As it relates to Nelson Mandela, he had a special relationship with him. A lot of you race baiters didn't know that, did you? And the crazy part about it, whatever Trump says about you when you're not there, he damn sure gonna say it to your face. I am glad it ended a lot better than that confrontation with Zelensky, even though Zelensky deserved that shit. After answering questions, he even served him lunch. Again, the liberals will call it rude, but I call it real. Again, this fake diplomacy and telling everybody everything they want to hear and being nice to everybody, sometimes that don't work sometimes. I'll tell you one thing, there's never going to be another Trump. That man don't have a lot of time on his hands and he has zero fucks to give. But the great part about it is, no matter who you are, he's willing to meet with you. And I can respect that. Boy, what a time to be alive.